Hi guys, welcome to Mission VR. I am starting a YouTube channel for virtual reality gaming because I feel that there are not a lot of reviewers out there in this market, and there are not a lot of reviewers out there in this market that want to talk about the things that are, quite frankly, very important for virtual reality gaming. I don't see ever mentioned the immersion factor. I know personally when I'm playing a virtual reality game, what's the point of me playing it? I'm excited the fact that I feel like I'm there. I feel like everything is around me is real. The sound quality, the graphics quality, the fun factor, those things, yeah, there are a lot of them talked about, but are they talked about in the sense of what I'm actually seeing on the screen? And that's what's important to, I feel, virtual reality gaming is that's the most important feature. I mean, sometimes there's trailers out there you'll look at and say, wow, that game looks beautiful. When you put the headset on, it doesn't quite look as good, or there's a screen door effect, or real fuzzy at distances. I mean, that's the stuff that we deal with as virtual reality gamers. And oftentimes, there's games with bad graphics that really immerse you because you are in that 3D environment, and it's pretty cool. And it's a lot of it, has to do with how the game is set up and optimized, and all that stuff. So I really wanted to talk about that stuff in my game reviews because I've got a lot of virtual reality games. I've got well over several thousand hours on my headset now. I've been playing virtual reality, from the first months that Oculus released their consumer version 1. I mean, I didn't even have the touch controllers when I got that thing, and it was at full price. And I forked out some good cash for it. It's hard to see the prices of their headsets nowadays compared to what I bought it for. And then on top of that, I also forked out the full price for the touch controllers. But I don't regret my investment. I've spent well over, like I said, several thousand hours playing virtual reality games now, and I'm pretty excited. I want to get this thing launched up. I want to get you guys the information you need. Oftentimes I do so much research before I buy a game. I'm a big believer in hours of investment. If I'm going to spend $1 on a game, I better get at least 1 hour out of it. If I'm going to spend $10 on a game, I want 10 hours out of it. That's my rule. That's how I like to do things. Sometimes there's some exceptions to things, but for the most part, $1 an hour is kind of how I do things, and that's kind of what I want to bring for you guys is what kind of content levels are going to be in these games. How much time investment you're going to have in it. If it is a shorter experience, is it worth whatever money they're asking for? And I know myself personally, I watch 3 or 4 YouTube reviews before I buy a game. Not so much with games that are a little bit on the less expensive side, but if I'm going to buy a AAA title, it's $60. You better believe I'm going to do as much research as possible because there's a lot of games out there nowadays that are $60 and they offer 10 to 15 hours of content before you're done. And I'm just not a fan of that. I don't think that's a good practice. So I'm hoping I can bring you guys some good quality content when it comes to this stuff, and like and subscribe, and let's get this thing rolling.